I want to show you an amazing Mississippi chicken recipe. This recipe is the cousin of the very popular Mississippi pot roast. This is just the chicken version of it that we're going to turn into a delicious sandwich. Flavorful chicken, melted provolone cheese on top, pepperoncini peppers, and we're going to make this delicious garlic aioli that's really going to pull the sandwich all together. Not to mention the delicious jus that's going to collect that we're going to dip that sandwich right in. For the full ingredient list and directions, check the description box below. But my mouth is watering, so let's get cooking. You can make this with chicken breasts or chicken thighs. We were going to go chicken breasts here because this is what most of the original recipes called for. So we're going to put some olive oil on there, and then we're going to put some of my base seasoning, which is a blend of garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper. You can find the video recipe in the description, and if you've been here before, you already have some in your kitchen. And we're also going to throw some smoked paprika on there. We're going to throw a little oil on the top just to help loosen up some of those dry spices, and then we're going to get in there with our hands and mix this well. And I'm just going to keep mixing until the chicken is well coated and all the nooks and crannies all over. We're going to set that aside, let those spices do their thing. Even though most of the recipes didn't call for anything in addition to the original ingredients, I wanted to throw some garlic and onions in there as I really think these fresh ingredients would really elevate this already awesome, easy recipe. These are the ingredients that every single Mississippi chicken recipe had in them. So a packet of ranch seasoning and a packet of Au Jus. I love the whole idea of just like little packets of stuff that you throw in there with the chicken. Makes cooking dinner very easy. The other thing was these pepperoncini peppers. So not only are we going to use the peppers, but we're also going to use the juice that's inside the jar and a stick of butter. We're going to cut this down a little bit. Most of the recipes used one stick of butter. We're going to cut this in half and just use half a stick. So now let's get a little sear on the outside of this chicken just to add another layer of flavor. If we can just get a sear on a little bit on the outside, it's going to add a really nice flavor. Most of these time pressure cookers have a sear or brown function, so we're going to throw it on there, let this heat up, and then we're going to put in a little bit of olive oil. And now we're going to lay the chicken in there, making sure that we're not overcrowding the bottom of the pan, and we're going to get some nice color on both sides of these. The chicken does not have to cook all the way through. You're just looking to get color on one side, then flip it over, and a little bit of color on the other. You can see after a few minutes, we're getting this nice brown color on one side. We're going to give those a flip and do the same thing over on the other side. So once we get both sides brown and we got a BSB situation, these are good to go. I'm going to pull those out and we're going to set those aside, and then we're going to put in the other three and try to get these BSB as well. And I really suggest that doing this in batches to avoid overcrowding. You cannot get anything brown if it's overcrowded. So once those have been browned on both sides, we're going to throw in the onions. We're also going to throw the garlic in. And I probably should have put the chicken in first, but doesn't matter. It's all just going to get mixed in. So in go the chicken. And make sure that any drippings that collect you also get in there. Remember, we have a very strict no flavors left behind policy here. Anytime you're doing any of this BSB work and you got drippings, it's got to go in. So now we're going to add some flavor enhancers. We're going to put a little dry white wine. Never use cooking wine. Always just use the cheapest wine that you got in the house. A little bit of chicken stock. And we're going with the low sodium stuff. Half a stick of butter. And here are those flavor packets that I was talking about. So first is going to go in as the packet of the Au Jus seasoning. And then we're going to put a packet of some Hidden Valley Ranch. We're also going to put in the juice from the pepperoncini peppers, just a little bit. This is going to add a nice flavor and a nice acidity to this brining liquid. We're also going to put a secondary flavor enhancer. This is the chicken bouillon paste from Better Than Bouillon. So we're going full cheat code on this one. This is going to be so flavorful. And if you like heat, you can put in a little crushed red pepper. We're going to give this a mix over the heat until the butter melts and all of that seasoning is well mixed in and dissolved into the braising liquid, and we got a little bit of a simmer going. So now we're going to seal up the pressure valve, and we're going to cook this for anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour. Now that we've got everything going in here, let me move on to the garlic aioli that I was telling you about. It's really going to bring the sandwich all together. Remember, aioli is just a fancy word for mayonnaise mixture. So we're going to take this mayo and we're going to mix in some Italian dressing powder along with some pureed garlic paste, some light sour cream, and a little bit of some white wine vinegar. First, we're going to throw in the base of the sauce, which is going to be the mayo. Then we're going to cut the mayo with some light sour cream. This is going to help add some body to the sauce without adding too many extra calories. And now we're going to put some garlic paste. The stuff's already pureed. It's going to really mix nicely into the sauce, and it's got a really nice garlicky flavor. Then we're also going to put some white wine vinegar for some acidity, and in goes the packet of Italian dressing mix. And this is right in line with the whole idea of the recipe. That stuff just comes out of packets. We're going to mix this up until everything is dissolved and well incorporated. We'll give it a little taste just to make sure we don't need to add anything. So good. So now we're going to transfer this into a container. We're going to put this aside in the fridge and really let those flavors develop. This is going to be such a nice addition to this sandwich. So now let's chop up some of those pepperoncini peppers. I love pickled and jarred ingredients like this. They add such depth of flavor to savory dishes like this chicken sandwich. So we're going to pull these out. We're going to slice off the top, and then we're just going to pull out that little seed bulb. If some of the seeds are still left in there, that's fine. And then we're just going to put a really thin slice on all of these peppers into little rings. We're going to set these aside in a container, and now let's attend to our chicken. So we let the pressure out of the time pressure cooker. We're pulling out the chicken breast, and we'll put this right inside of our stand mixer bowl. I've always wanted to use the stand mixer trick to shred the chicken, but before we do that, let's get some of that flavor. This sauce is absolutely unbelievable, and you are crazy if you think we're going to throw this away. So we're going to take this and push this through the strainer. And once we get most of the liquid out, a comment that was left on a previous video from Marcel, and he told me to use a potato masher to mash up the stuff in there and then scrape it out. This actually worked really well. I'll be using this trick again. Chef Ange approved. And now we will take the spoon and we'll push it, the rest of the stuff, through the strainer, and definitely scrape up the stuff that's on the bottom of the strainer. That stuff is gold. We're going to put this just back inside there on a low heat just to keep the stuff warm. And now the chicken inside the stand mixer with this attachment on, and this worked so easy and so well. And I've seen this before, and I've always wanted to try it, and this worked great. I will definitely be using this in future recipes to shred chicken, never again by hand. And now this chicken has a lot of room to get some more flavor in there. You know, all this shredded chicken's like a paintbrush. It's just going to soak up this sauce. So a little bit at a time, we're going to take ladles of the jus, and we'll just keep throwing it in there until the chicken looks nice and super moist and soaked with the sauce. This looks about right, so now let's start assembling our sandwiches. So we have these really, really nice Portuguese sandwich rolls, super crusty bread, super soft on the inside, and this is just going to be a tough enough bread to handle these sandwich. You can use any bread you like, but I would definitely prefer some type of bread that's got a crunch and a hard exterior to hold up, because otherwise the sandwich is going to go total mush. So we're going to throw these in the oven, just get a little bit of toast on them so they have just even a little bit more structure to them. Now we're going to spread on our garlic aioli mixture right on the bottom. And we're making sure that we're getting even distribution, wall to wall garlic aioli. Don't miss out on any spots. And now let's layer in that chicken, and don't be stingy. You made a lot of chicken. You want these sandwiches to be absolutely loaded. Sandwiches have to have a very good middle meat to bread ratio, so don't skimp out on the chicken. This is really going to squish down once you get a good handle on that sandwich. And these sandwiches are meant to be extra, extra hearty. And we went with a provolone cheese, as this is kind of like a cheesesteak-ish kind of deal. And I thought provolone cheese with that mild smoky flavor would be perfect. So we're going to throw this in the oven, and we're going to melt that cheese right all over that chicken. These sandwiches already look so good. And now, last but not least, we're going to take those pickled pepperoncini peppers that we sliced up and load those up on the top of these sandwiches. These sandwiches look absolutely dynamite. We're going to take them, we're going to put them on our serving platter. You know, if you're a big eater, you probably take down the whole one, or you could slice these in half. You could serve these for a party. These are absolutely unbelievable chicken sandwiches. So let's check out one of these and let's see how we did. How awesome does this look? That our meat, we know we got our like garlic, Italian dressing, aioli underneath. That's gonna add a lot of flavor. The chicken looks fantastic, soaked in that jus. We got the provolone cheese on top and these pepperoncini peppers. Let's cut this bad boy in half. So we got this nice crunchy bread. The crunchy bread is great because it's gonna contrast the softness of the chicken, because that pulled chicken's super duper soft. Here, let's have a little preview of the, oh my God. Oh boy, here we go. I knew before I even started this was gonna be a total home run. And this sandwich is absolutely amazing. It's got really nice savoriness to it. All of the elements work really, really nicely together. This is only my first time making this, but I would 100% make this again. People are gonna go nuts over these sandwiches. I don't care if you're from Mississippi, New Jersey, Montana. This is out of this world. While I'm finishing up this sandwich, check out the greatest sandwich in the world, which is the burger, and you can check out my Smash Burger episode right here. I'll see you there. Thanks.